Hi, I'm Bob McNamara with Power Soak Unified Brands. I'd like to thank you for the purchase of your Power Soak system. It's going to give you clean, consistent results and an easy-to-use system that's user-friendly. And we're going to go over the startup and shutdown here today. The Power Soak agitating sink has a control panel that starts and stops the unit. It's going to control the wash action on the wash tank. It will also let you know when the sanitizer tank needs to be changed, which is about every 2 hours. In order to start up the system, we want to make sure that each of the tanks are clean: the wash tank, the rinse tank, and the sanitizer tank. We want to come over and visually check each one of these tanks, making sure that there's no debris in the tanks and they're clean. We have a high-level sensor and a low-level sensor, and we want to make sure that these are clean so that there's no grease or debris on these. These will indicate when the water is full or when the tank needs to be changed to reset the timer. These are detergent injection points. They come with the unit whether or not you got the automatic chemical dispenser or not. After we've checked each one of these tanks, and there are 2 more sensors in the sanitizer tank as well that we want to make sure are clean. We're going to make sure they're clean so they have no grease or debris on them, and then we're going to close all 3 drain valves. We have 1 drain valve for the sanitizer tank, 1 drain valve for the rinse tank, and 1 drain valve for the wash tank. There is no drain valve for whether it's a scrap sink or a disposer, so there's no drain valve to worry about there. After we've closed the drain valves, we're going to turn on the fill faucet, and we're going to fill to the fill line in each of the 3 tanks. Once they are full, we're going to come over and we're going to shut off the fill valve. We want the tank water to be about 110 to 115 degrees, warm to the touch, and we are able to adjust that temperature by the hot and cold valve on the faucet. After you have the wash tank, the rinse tank, and the sanitizer tank full, we're going to hit the green button on the control panel to start the wash action. The wash action will run for 4 hours before it will shut off. At the end of 4 hours, you need to drain the tank fully, pass the low-level sensor and the water completely out of it, and clean the wash tank out in order to reset the control panel. When the unit runs for 4 hours, that means that if you started it at 8 o'clock in the morning, it will run till noon. That doesn't mean you leave the pots and pans in there that long, but you would drop them in there and they're in 10 to 15 minutes. But it does mean that if you started at 8 o'clock in the morning and you shut it off at 10 and you turn it on at 11, it'll only run till noontime. So it's got 4 hours from the time you started it. If you fill the wash tank with above 123 degree water, the unit will not start. That's to protect the employee from burning their hands. You would need to drain it out, and there's a reset procedure that's in the manual on how to reset the control. It's a safety precaution to keep someone from burning their hands. So we would start the unit, and in most cases, you would add detergent to the tank. Now, the detergent can either be added by an automatic chemical dispenser provided by your detergent supplier on the wall, or we also provide an automatic dispenser that would be located under the clean drain board in our unit. When that takes place, when you start the unit, it automatically puts it in. Now that we have detergent in the wash tank, we're going to take our wares and we'll be pre-rinsing them off to get rid of the gross food soil. We'll rinse them off, whether or not that was a disposer, a collector, or a scrap sink, and we drop them in the wash tank. If we have metal pans or pots and pans, we're going to drop them in as well. Miscellaneous items like spatulas, tongs, a whisk go in this section here. We do not put any sharp items in here. There are no knives that go in here. No glasses or plates or something that's breakable. They're going to rotate back up to the front top of the tank here. Only throw one item in. So they're going to rotate in. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put in the rinse tank, and then I'm going to put in the sanitizer tank. If you got the optional sheet pan racking system, it comes in two sections. There's a section that hooks onto the back of the tank and a section that hooks onto the front of the tank. The back section hooks onto the hooks that are on the backsplash. You just put them on and you drop them down in. And if you have them for the whole unit, or you can get sections of them. In this particular case, we have one section. Now that we have the sheet pan racks installed, we're going to start the unit. In this particular system that we're looking at here, we'll accept both 18 by 26 inch sheet pans, and if you're a retail operation, we'll also accept the 30-inch meat trays. If this was a non-retail establishment, you wouldn't have the meat trays, it would be all sheet pan racks. So the sheet pan racks are going to go in here front to back, which allows you to be able to wash miscellaneous items in here, as well as the sheet pans all at one time. And if you were a retail operation and you had meat trays, your meat trays will fit in here like this. Now that the power soaker stopped running and the 4-hour wash cycle has expired, we're going to open all of the drains. There are 3 drains again, one for the wash tank, one for the rinse tank, and one for the sanitizer tank. Once the tanks are emptied, we're going to clean them of any debris that may be in there using a pre-rinse hose and then scooping out any small debris. That's what's important about using the pre-rinse sink or disposer or scrapping area, to keep as much garbage and gross food soil as you can out of the wash tank. Do several things for you. It's going to give you good, clean, consistent results. And additionally, there's less to clean that's in that wash tank. And now that we have the wash tank, the rinse tank, and the sanitizer tank drained, we're going to take the sheet pan racks out, and we're going to put them on the clean drain board. And we're going to take the back off, put them on the clean drain board. We're also going to take the utensil basket out. We're going to take the utensil basket out and just lean it into the rinse tank. And we're going to look at the wash tank. We're going to inspect the wash tank for any debris that may be left in here. Because we weren't in this demo washing a lot of soil pots and pans, there's not going to be a lot of debris in here. But we're going to rinse this wash tank out, making sure that it's clean. And if there's anything left in here, we would just take a paper towel or a rag, and we would pick up any garbage or debris that was in there, rinsing down the tank. What's extremely important here is to take a green scrubby pad, and on both the high level sensor and the low level, there's a little metal piece in the middle. It's just to clean that, a little rub with a green scrub pad, the top one and the bottom one. And what's important about that is it cleans off any greases that may have built up on that sensor, so we'll read the water properly. We also have another one on the sanitizer tank. The sanitizer tank has a high level, and it also has a low level sensor. And these sensors should tell the control panel when 2 hours has passed, the red light on the panel will start to blink to tell you to change the water in the sanitizer tank. So again, there will also be a tutorial on the controls and how they operate. So now that we've cleaned the wash tanks, the rinse tank, and the sanitizer tank, and we've cleaned the high and low sensors, we make sure that the utensil basket is clean, the utensil basket on the back. This is for the miscellaneous items. If you notice that this is clean, we're going to drop that back into the wash tank. We're going to come over and we're going to grab the sheet pan racks. We're going to put them back in place. And we're going to put the sheet pan rack back on the front rim, and the unit is ready for the next group to come in and close the drains and get ready to use it. So it's a very simple system to use. What we're going to do is close the drains, fill it to the fill line with water, shut the water off, the faucets off. We're going to get the detergent, but whether or not we push a dispenser button on the wall or it goes in automatically with our chemical dispenser, hit the green button to start the unit. The unit will run for up to 4 hours before it needs to be drained and refilled. If you want to stop it during the shift, you just hit the red stop button to stop it. Again, the control will blink the red light at the end of 2 hours to tell you to change the sanitizer water, or suggest that you do, but it will not stop the unit. The unit only stops after the 4-hour wash cycle has taken place. Very simple unit to use. Green on, red off. If you have any issues or any concerns, please give us a call at any time. And again, thank you very, very much